What's up guys, welcome to MMA Lead channel. In this video I'll analyze Ngannou vs Santos fight. This is the main event of the UFC card. It was hosted in Minneapolis, Minnesota. A fight between two heavyweights, true heavyweights, not like the others heavyweights that have big guts sticking out, love handles flying like wings, and short like a lightweight. We're talking about true heavyweights, heavyweights that are ripped like a bodybuilder and fast like a lightweight. JDS was known in the past for being skilled and powerful boxer, tall and ripped for years. Fast forward a few years, the sport evolved and a Cameroonian came into the scene, and fans started claiming that he surpassed Brazilian in all those attributes. This fight gave us the opportunity to know whether it's true or not. The bell rang, they touched gloves. There's no need for not touching because they've been cordial throughout the build-up, and it shows they won't rush each other from the get-go. Ngannou opened up with a fast kick to the thigh. This revealed his game plan. I love it when fighters mix things up. Ngannou is known as a boxer, but in this fight he's willing to kick. Actually, in 1 minute he kicked JDS 4 times. Coming into this fight, he chose to use his kicks. The kicks will serve different purpose, like compromise JDS' ability to move. JDS likes moving around against his opponents, confuse them and land the strikes. A fight where JDS displayed this skill is against Ben Rothwell. He ran circles against him. Ngannou doesn't want to beat Ben, so he chose to use his kicks to make sure it does not happen. Kicks will damage the muscle tissue and nerve and consequently create a situation where moving around becomes difficult and impossible to JDS to accomplish his objectives. Another reason to use kicks is to outstrike JDS, considering that he is a great boxer. It's not absurd to assume during the game planning process that Ngannou and JDS might be even trading punches. Maybe the kick will be the difference that will raise him his arm and get the green W. It's a safer attack, considering that JDS doesn't try to take down his opponent. That makes it perfect to throw the kick and score while being at a distance where the punches cannot touch you. By the way, in heavyweight, you cannot afford taking punches on the chin. There is no margin for error. I know they say it in every heavyweight fight, but it's true. But between this new breed of heavyweights that are athletically fast and powerful, this statement is taken to a whole different level. So anything that you can do to avoid getting hit on the chin, you should do it. It's a no-brainer decision. Despite the loss, JDS started well. He was moving around, not being a stationary target, while he was feeling out his opponent, measuring the distance. Suddenly, at 4 minutes and 46 seconds, Ngannou unloaded a kick to the thigh. JDS had his arm up to avoid getting hit in the face. Good defense. In the next exchange, he faked going right and then moved to the left. But then he saw that there was no opening to throw the right hand, so he made the U movement. That's pop and weave, a boxing defense designed to avoid the hooks. Right after that, at 4 minutes and 37 seconds, Santos feinted hard to throw the right hand. At the same time, Ngannou threatened to counter with a left hook. That is why you should feint to know how your opponent wants to react and capitalize on his mistakes. That's an awesome info, and JDS could have used it for future exchange. Ngannou came forward, sticking his ruler out, measuring the distance, occupying the space, confusing his opponent's vision, making it harder to attack. JDS used a kick to the calf and dropped Ngannou. Great technique choice in this situation. This kick is a relatively new technique in MMA, but it should be more used It's an awesome technique. Unlike the kick to the thigh that is easier to catch due to being closer to the arm, this technique is unexpected. There's a higher likelihood of dropping your opponent because it attacks the base of the body. That's why in takedowns, wrestlers go for the leg. They attack the leg, not your chest. It's harder to catch, which means the likelihood of ending up on the ground is lower. We have to praise Ngannou's athleticism. In 1 second, he was back on his feet. Check this out, 4 minutes and 29 seconds. JDS started throwing the kick. It landed 4 minutes and 28 seconds. Ngannou went down, and by the end of that second, he was back on his feet. Amazing athleticism. On the other hand, we should talk about the mistake that JDS just made. It's obvious what he should have done. He should have kept Ngannou down or at least wrestled him. Who in his right mind doesn't wrestle Ngannou? Stipe did and won. JDS chose to not pick this path, a path where he will avoid getting hit in the chin. He chose just to move back. That's a huge mistake. This is the reason Ngannou said he doesn't believe JDS is a black belt. He knows he never grapples, and that should not be something to worry about. I imagine his coach talking during the game planning process and saying, let's kick him and destroy his muscle tissue. There's no threat of a takedown. He never showed that he can grapple or even threaten to take his opponents down in his past fights. So why not take advantage of it? Great game planning for Ngannou's team. Well observed. At first JDS thought Ngannou was going for a takedown. He had his arm open to avoid the supposed entry. And why not grappling even Overeem tried? That is one hell of a mistake, not taking the path to avoid trading with the most powerful puncher in MMA. Anyways, let's move on. At 4 minutes and 19 seconds, JDS hit Ngannou with a straight right to the body when Ngannou tried the third leg kick in the first minute. It's a punch that he had not used before in this fight. Great exchange by both guys. It's a good idea to attack the body. Good diversity in strikes by JDS. If the fight was longer and if he wins, this would be a key to victory for JDS. Using this strike, his head was out of the center line, and defensively he exited to the right side. That is the right exit. The right side to exit is Ngannou's left side because it's safer exit due to being away from Ngannou's weapons. Exiting this way makes it harder to get attacked. Ngannou, like always, he was pressuring him. He stayed in front of him. At the moment JDS was against the cage, he unloaded the left hook and the right hand. The right hand landed. You can hear it if you pay attention to the audio in the fight exchange. It's easier to land the punch on your opponent when he's against the cage. Being trapped against the cage is something that JDS had problems with since Kane's fight. He's always against the cage. He should work harder to avoid being there. I believe he will never fix it until he retires. Defensively, he should have never been there. He needs better footwork to avoid being trapped against the cage. However, we know we cannot always avoid being trapped against the cage. Let's talk about the way to exit. Being in this position, the right way to exit is with the left arm extended, protecting his face from punches, with the shoulder covering his chin. This way he will avoid getting hit by punches, and his right hand will protect the left side of his face while he's retreating. If you were listening carefully until now I need your undivided attention. Do you remember that I stressed out the importance of diversifying your attacks? Read and capitalize on the info you get from feints. The lack of this attribute is the key for JDS finish. There were two important sequences that lead to the end of this fight. In the first exchange, JDS used a kick and Ngannou countered with a left hook and a right hook. If you were observant, you would know that Ngannou always uses this counter. Collecting info from feints would allow JDS to know that rolling under the left hook and exit to the right side is the right thing to do. It's not the end of the world because you shouldn't always exit to your right side. But another mistake here is that he didn't have his arm extended to protect it from getting hit by punches. On the second one, JDS kicked and Ngannou countered with the same combo. Now you can say that Ngannou made a mistake, but nonetheless he hurt him and won the fight. Therefore the diversity on the fight does not matter. I agree that Ngannou made a mistake. He should not use the same counter over and over again, because if JDS was paying attention on the fight, Ngannou would be in a huge trouble. If you remember, I showed you before Ngannou revealed he will counter with the left hook. With that info, JDS should have known that the right thing to do is to bob and weave to his right side. If he bob and weave, he will roll under the left hook and then stay away from the left hand and the right hook from Ngannou. If he did that, not only that he would be safer from getting hit, he could have thrown combos when he rolled. That was the mistake that led to the end of the fight. He should have exited to the right side, or if he is exiting to the left side, he should have his arm extended and not turn his back on Ngannou. Although it does not look as devastating as Overeem's KO, or maybe visually impactful, you sure as hell hear the punch landing if you watch the fight. And JDS went to the ground and gave up. JDS certainly felt the power, even though you might think it wasn't a powerful punch.